Welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you following along on this journey, and appreciate your watching the last video and the feedback that I got from it. So thanks a lot. Even though the videos are 15 to 20 or so minutes long, it takes about 5 to 6 hours total to do one video. By the time you put it together, film it, transfer it over, edit it, and so forth, and then get it uploaded, it takes a bit of time. So it's not as easy as just cutting a camera on and putting it on YouTube and you're done. So thanks, and it's appreciated. So in this video I want to talk about how much more can we take. I usually keep a list of running notes and things that I can apply to a video to share thoughts, and after several pages of notes I put the pen down, and the thought just hit me. It's how much more can Americans take? I know a lot of folks are dialed out and they don't pay attention. They're in daily struggles, you know, how to make ends meet, dropping off children, picking up children, dealing with their own lives and jobs and relationships and things of that nature. But I do believe more people are paying attention now than a year ago. Probably because of struggles that they're facing just to live payday to payday. And I wanted to share, these are just things that come to mind, or that I heard and so forth. It didn't take a lot of effort to compile these lists. It's just a lot of things the mainstream media is not covering. No one's talking about it. Probably the only place I really truly believe these conversations are happening are the folks who are paying attention, and most of them are the preparer types, who I truly hope are taking steps for self-reliability. Here's just some things that I wrote down. Prices are off the chart. I was in a grocery store just before the holiday, and just in 5 days prior to that, when I was in a store, it's like every trip to the store is you're paying more for less. Prices continue to escalate, and I really don't know how people are surviving. The Dow loses another 400 points today. I heard a story today over in the Knoxville, Tennessee area of a 90-year-old veteran that was out collecting buggies at a Winn-Dixie store. It's a 90-year-old male veteran who had to go back to work to survive, and he's out in the heat pushing the heavy buggies. Veterans and Black Americans are being put in the street in major cities to make room for our new guests who are moving into these quarters with their pockets lined with fresh cash from our tax-paid dollars. The government is planning a digital registration system for males at the age of 18, and this is for potential of a draft. I said in a video a couple months ago, don't be surprised to see a draft coming by this fall. And I do believe that we'll start out as drafting of males, and it will soon include females. Every city that I have visited over the past months, year, has hundreds, if not thousands, of new apartment complexes going up. Everywhere you look, dirt's being turned, and these complexes are being built for someone. And I know a lot of it is blue state residents are fleeing and they're heading to red states. And this presents a problem for folks that live in the local areas that are on income scales in these areas. And the folks who are coming here are selling out homes in blue states for high dollar and coming here, and it's driving the price up and making it unaffordable for locals. That's in rent and in buying homes. There's been over 800 tornadoes so far in 2024. Think about that, over 800 tornadoes. The food crop is being devastated for the 5th year in a row by all the storms this year. Previously we had droughts, we had floods, and we had fires. This has impacted both farms and cattle. The nation awaits a jury verdict in the unjust trial of our former president in New York. By the weekend, we could have 1st of June, we could have the verdict revealed, and it'll be interesting to see if there is an outburst, either way the verdict goes, an outburst of violence. Currently, crime continues to climb off the charts. Carjackings, home robberies, parking lot robberies, kidnappings, rape. There was just over the past weekend, Memorial Day weekend in Nashville area, 70 arrests were made, breaking up a pedophile ring, and there's still more arrests being made to date. Children continue to be mutilated by adult surgeons who are probably also parents. I wonder if they would do the same surgery on their own children, or would allow it to take place. Boys are competing against girls, and it's called fair. See, so many of these things, they happen and they get our attention for 24 hours, and then something else major happens and we seem to forget all the other negatives that are changing our country as it once was before. It's not just about the boys competing against girls, it's boys who are being allowed by adults to use the female bathrooms, take showers in the same locker rooms. If that's not bad enough, it's seeing a female with sideburns and a mustache who's pregnant. What is happening to this nation? Currently, 40 million Americans can't put their hands on $400. Think about that. And they're living off of credit cards. Food chains are going bankrupt. It's like 2 or 3 a week we hear that are closing down half of their restaurants, or they're closing down all of them. Citizens are slow paying debts, or they're skipping them entirely. Mortgages, rent, car payments, credit card payments, and it gets worse by the month. we're on the brink of a civil war. Um, the spark that could set this off is in the large inner cities, and the hatred that continues to build for Black Americans who are basically being shoved in the corner, and the past privileges they had are being stripped and given to our new visitors coming in from the South. And many of these inner city gangs have stated the first crime committed against a black female that war's on. Crime committed against them by the visitors from the South. For those that are familiar with DEI, diversity, equity, inclusiveness, it's destroying the workplace. For any of you who are out there working that are having to deal with this, it's absolute nonsense, and it's full speed ahead. People who are seniors in senior level skills are basically being pushed out, and in order to meet the DEI requirements, they're hiring individuals to fill these positions that have no skills in the areas they're being hired for. I know I've been seeing it for several months now. I just find it interesting how when the sea hit in March of 2020, how much of this nonsense started shortly after everyone was teleworking from home and started transitioning back into the workplace in 2022, 2023 timeframe. All these changes started coming forth. If one wasn't really looking so hard, they would probably not notice it, but it's pretty apparent of what it's doing all over. And basically for private corporations, often we can ask, I can't believe X company went woke. It's because they're being forced to incorporate DEI into their company structure, or else face repercussions from the government. And lastly, World War III is in progress. There is a lot of movement going on globally, equipment being moved. Probably one of the big things is noticing President Macron from France, who has stepped forward to fill the void of leadership in NATO. And rumor has it that France is training upwards of 1 million troops, French troops, to be sent forward to fight on Ukrainian soil. And that's, if you know the history of France, that's an absolute shocker. But it takes me back to the discussion going on in our government in Washington, D.C. in regards to this digitalized registration for the draft. That is coming. You are going to see it. It's being, the draft or conscript programs is being re-implemented all over Europe. So it's happening. And those are typically true signs of a war or a larger war that is before us. So with all that said, It's easy to allow things to get you down and kind of depressing for many of us who have been following this for years and can see it month by month just gradually gaining steam and getting worse, and politics and the economy and the education system and the supply chain issues and the destruction of a way of life in our country. Um, it would be easy to get you down, but there has to be some of us who stays grounded and sees it for what it is, and we don't ball up in a corner and wave the defeat flag. We have to do the best we can. We have to stay strong. We have to keep our faith. We have to try to encourage others, help where we can, try to help our family, try to continue working in our community, building bonds, knowing our neighbors' strengths and weaknesses. It's a heavy load and it's a non-ending load, but if you have been into prepping or preparedness for a period of time, you are going to be ahead of 95% of the population. There's no doubt there. So seeing all these things happen, um, we have to use it as a fuel to strengthen our backbone and strengthen our resolve, and continue to um, keep the attitude that we have to do our best to be examples for others, um, to basically build a human chain, to stand together no matter what's coming at us. And if we can look at it, we can look at it two ways: the way of defeatism, which I don't think is an answer, or we can use it as a opportunity to strengthen bonds and relationships, of those we love, our friends and the people around us, to do everything we can to try to make the best of whatever situation is put before us. We can't change many of these things that I shared with you. We just have to think about those things and how they may possibly impact us at our local level in our 5 mile radius. Um, um, we may or may not have an election this fall in 4 months from now. And whether we do or we don't, we have to continue to focus again around us, because that's where we're going to feel most of the effects of the many things that are happening. So, you know, um, if you surround yourself with good, positive people, it definitely changes your day. And how we go about doing things, um, in a positive manner, that other people who may be negative can see, that hopefully we can rub off, um, and maybe help them in some light. Okay, it's going to be a tough, long journey for everyone, but through the past efforts and continued efforts now into building a self-reliant insurance package, and through our faith, um, we're, no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. We just have to know going into things how we can best deal with them. Okay. That's why it's so important to, whether you're by yourself or you're with someone else that's like-minded, run exercise drills. What if? What if? What if? What would we do if this breaks? What can we use to replace it? And so it's called being prepared. Okay, it's better to be prepared. I think having some level of fear is good, so that we don't get lazy and lackadaisical. Okay. Um, but we shall not allow what is ahead or what's being planned by um, the evil communist um, to destroy um, who we are. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I hope you're all healthy, and I hope you're all safe and had a good Memorial Day weekend. For many, it's kind of a tough time. People have lost loved ones over the many years, and thinking about our government involvement in Ukraine and other parts of the world. Um, we've pretty much been at war since 2001. We were in Iraq, we were in Afghanistan, back and forth, and parts of Africa, and uh, the islands in the Philippines and other places. And it's like they're always itching to get us involved in a war. Ukraine, over in the Middle East now. And, these are the people that we elect, and the consequences of those votes. And it's pretty evident they don't listen to the populace of the nation that pays their wages. So anyway, keep your head on a swivel when you're out and about. Stay safe, and um, have the right mindset. Think outside the box. Stay left of bang, and do your best. No one can ask more of you. Just do your best. And if you're new to Hope for Survival, you can visit our webpage at hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com if you have questions, or you can leave your questions down below in the comment box. And if you're new, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please hit like. It does help in the algorithms. We're relatively small, but it still helps. And till next time, always be blessed, and most importantly, don't forget to give thanks. We are blessed people, regardless of how the world looks right now. Bravo Echo out.